All right, welcome everybody to Base Invaders, presented by Rustoria servers, and of course sponsored by Rusty Pot. I'm Jamerson Lee, and joining me on the casting desk, I've got a Bigfoot sighting. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm good, bro. How's it going?
It's going, it's going. You know, it's 11:45 here over in the west coast of the U.S. I imagine you're over there in the UK, and I'm really excited about today's events because it's going to be big. It's going to be explosive. It's seven mans.
Yeah, the bases are absolutely huge, mate. In this seven-man squad, I just played EU with one of the teams to sort of wrap my head around what Base Invaders is up to these days, and I got lost in the base like 5-6 times, man. It was just huge. It was ridiculous. We might catch a look at it. They built the same base again. They were called Too Fresh this time around, and yeah, it's just absolute stonker. But they're not the only team that've got a stonking base. There's loads, and you've got a few guys building out on their lonesome out here, like Sewer Branch and that Oxum's. I'm pretty sure they'll get flown down to and raided pretty fast since the chances of a counter is pretty slim. But we can have a little look at one right now, eh?
Oh, and they didn't even get to finish off their compound. I don't know how much this would matter for Team Smoke, but I mean, I don't know if we can call this compound. What's going on with these walls?
What is this?
It's like they were running out of stone or something, yeah?
They haven't run out of stone. They've run out of flat ground, mate. Like, what are they even thinking building here? I think this is maybe their first time in Base Invaders.
I think maybe they were like, "Oh, we want the high ground. You know, you can't push us here on the high ground." But I mean, they've got themselves a scrappy, so they might just want to be pure offensive at this point. But hey, you still need to defend your base. We'll see if anyone can spot out the weaknesses on this one. We are in the attack phase right now. That means teams will be able to accrue points, of course, through PvP kills, but we've also got objectives on the map as well.
And here's another base that's out by themselves, Ooga Booga. They seem to be doing a little bit better, at least on the compound front, but I'm still not sure how long they're going to last, because a lot of these bases out by themselves do get flown down to and raided pretty fast.
Yeah, I'm just kind of taking a look at it, and it is nice and chunky. Really great peak downs, of course, but it's always going to come down to when the people get inside of your base. How are you going to be able to defend? But you have to imagine the inner shell does have peak downs for themselves. Right now, though, we're waiting for the first patrol helicopters to go down. We also have the hard point active. So when the hard point is active, as long as your team maintains control of it, you will be accruing points. But once someone comes in and contests, well, you got to get rid of them. Another base on the outskirts here. We did see that we had two big clusters on the north side of the map around water treatment, and I believe around airfield. And then this is just one of those 6, maybe 7 bases that are on the outskirts. So they've got to be ready to be able to F1 if anything goes down here.
Yeah, and another thing I noticed while I was playing EU was you can now, with the radio controlled C4, hasn't been blacklisted. Oh, goodbye, mate. Hasn't been blacklisted just yet. So you can actually cover an entire base's foundies before any boom actually goes off. So if you have one of these bases that's out in the middle of nowhere, and a team comes up with RF C4, I know Too Fresh are aware of this because they were the ones that were doing this last round, and they can cover every single foundation and wall around your bottom floor in C4 and burst it before a single red marker appears on that map. So living in the current meta that might only last a week, because there is a quite strong vote to get rid of that crap in the Discord already. The current meta, maybe just for this singular day, is if you're in the middle of nowhere, your base can get some serious boom before anything happens on the map.
Especially when it comes to 7-mans. I mean, we had the entire build phase for people to be able to build up their resources. And with 7-mans comes huge rocket volleys as well. So the response time to the defenses have to be absolutely clean right now. It does look like we've got multiple teams coming in for the attack, basically onto the hard point. Double should be controlling it currently, and they are our lobby leaders already. Off to a good start, 24 points for them. But the PvP should mean teams start racking up these points. We have another squad inside the hard point right now. You can see Delta Spy actually might have been able to kill a few of the double members and force them out.
Yeah, and if you've got any 2 squads inside the hard point, no one's getting any points aside from the kills. You've got to be the only team inside that hard point to be racking up those kills. So just having Fade here is putting a little bit of a downer on Double, who was doing good to start with, but they are on 25 points, twice ahead of their second place nuts so far. But these numbers are nothing compared to what we end up by the end of it. I mean, what was it, EU? The winners had 711 points at the end of the last event, man. So like 12 points here, 12 points there. It doesn't mean too much just yet.
Yeah, we know that once it comes down to the raid phase, 40 points per TC. Right here, you're just slowly accruing the points as time goes on. We have 30 minutes total for the attack phase. We're already down to 24. You have to remember PvP matters as well. But right now, it looks like False Conclusion was the lone member from Double that was able to stay alive. And so he is keeping the hard point contested, was able to win out a duel of his own. And so no one really accruing points yet. Now the tables have turned. It's going to be up to Cougar to make sure that he can maintain presence here for his squad. But he's going to have to fight a 2v1 very shortly.
Oh, and he does get taken straight down by that 2v1. Sova and False Conclusion swinging from either side and making short work of him right there. But we got ha coming back in, so there's still not all the points on the board for Double. And this is the thing, in these 7-mans, the hard point can be really tricky because you've got these huge teams coming in from so many different angles. And if we next time you have a look at the map, you'll see just how many bases are built around this hard point. It's quite a few, so there's a lot of contesting going on trying to get back up those points. And I honestly think most of the kills will just be coming in from most of the points will be coming in from actual kills.
Yeah, just to put it into context, so the hard point is in the direct center of the map. We said that the two most popular build spots on the map right now are around water treatment and airfield, which are northwest and northeast respectively from that spot. So maybe about 14 teams roughly in the area that can come in to try and contest. More likely about 7 squads that can come. We do have currently 3 or 4 fighting for it. We also have, of course, during the attack phase, some teams actually putting some importance on actually trying to control a base, trying to find a weak base that they can possibly push into the compound and get onto the rooftop. Now, during the attack phase, you can't destroy any enemy buildings, but you can still kill them inside of their base and you can just set up for that raid phase.
Yeah, I mean, you can technically go deep to like couple doors from TC if the team you're pushing are complete idiots, but it's just quite rare stuff like that does happen. But you can get far inside the base just in the attack phase, getting kills. As long as they've picked up a gun, you're going to get a point for every single one, and you can cause a right hassle for them if that's their spawn point you're surrounding. And also completely prepared for when the raid phase does start. You can just start booming as soon as that timer ticks over.
Yeah, we typically see basically the ratings start about 4 seconds before the attack phase will end. C4 ticking down, and they are ready to go. I mean, getting that information as well, spending the 30, maybe 20 minutes to just scout the base and figure out where that TC is, so you don't have to expend that much boom to snowball into your next raid. Because you also, of course, get the loot from that base. Remember, this is Rust. You are looking to profit as well. And if you're one of the first teams to be able to get a raid, a successful raid, that's going to be all that sulfur going your way.
Sometimes you can run out of loot like right through the middle of a raid and find a bunch of C4. That happened to us in the last game. We were just covered B's base, the bottom of their base in the radio C4. Ran out of C4 halfway through, but the C4 inside their base is what helped us actually find their TC and get that last little point. But yeah, we were far down the leaderboard. But at least we managed to take off the second place. But yeah, Base Invaders is not an easy Rust game. Like some people say Rust is easy, played a lot of time, but when there's that much chaos going on and that many veterans of the game in one lobby, it's so chaotic.
Especially here in the 7s, right? There is a lot of room for error when it comes to the raiding. The defending, I feel like, it could be much harder. Nice little push out there by Feed. And they take out 2 members of Double. I don't know if they've been able to completely clear them out of the hard point quite yet, but Double were able to maintain control up to 41 points there. So it looks like they might have been taken out. Feed now in control, but other teams are looking to come into contest. You can see just the density of bases makes it so difficult to even just push up. A lot of walls have to be expended to just try and get close.
Yeah, so just have a look at all those purple dots around that whole point. Absolutely insane. 2, 4, 6, 8 bases around. No one's built to the south side for some reason. Maybe the terrain's not looking too good, but 8 bases around and north of Hardpoint. So that's why you're seeing just so much chaos over there. Last week in the Freemans, it was a lot easier to control that Hardpoint. We saw, I think it was Turkish maintaining control for pretty much the entire attack phase, but with these 7-mans, these 8 bases around Hardpoint, it's looking like it's not going to be quite so easy.
Ooh, taking a look at the general geography around as well. Big Kahuna, I think this is their typical MO. Find the highest point on the map. We are going to build on it, and they are up there. The issue is that there's still a lot of teams, if they want to try and fight for that hard point, they have to get through that. But I think they are looking to possibly just play defense. It does seem like we have our second patrol helicopter going down as well. Not entirely too sure who might have been able to pick up that first one, but we do typically see a lot of action around that as well.
I think we were looking at that base on the hilltop with the terrible compound, but Big Kahuna have managed to find a hilltop where they do manage to fit a compound around their base. It's very important, you know. You can't just go for the high ground. You need to go for the high ground that's big and flat enough to actually get your build off properly. Looks like Big Kahuna have managed to do that. And there's not really down on this battlefield, so they must just be shooting from the high ground at the minute. And these walls don't last very long, as you can see. They're starting to crumble. It's because the decay time is quite low on them, because otherwise we just end up with a map absolutely swamped with walls.
Yeah, it's like when Christmas time rolls around, right? And the ice walls come out and you just see them everywhere because naked can just find them, no problem whatsoever. Back on to the hard point. We've got maybe 3 teams currently fighting for it right now. Mongolius, a little bit low, needs the backup of his squad. As takes a lot of damage there, trying to push up, clear this one out. But Mongolius, at least contesting it for now. Ooh, he's down. We'll see if his teammates can get back here. And we'll see if maybe Double can try and regain control. But it does seem like they're a little bit gated. They're trying to push up, but they've got feed right in their direct line of sight to try and deal with just the push up.
Yeah, I think Fade are pretty keen on this hard point. They've even got themselves a camper van with a spawn point on the edge there. So definitely their tactic right now is to try and control this hard point, but they are all in 9th place. They're going to have to do a little bit more to start pushing up. As long as they've had almost control of the hard point, there seems to have always been just at least one player stopping that 2 point per 30-second accruing for them. What are you doing all the way out here? Oh, there's the heli getting taken. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I like this. They take it towards the side of the map. Ooh, if it goes down in the
show.
water, that'll be quick points for them. Remember, it's not just about taking down the heli. You have to secure the loot as well. Just go ahead and touch the boxes. You will be getting points for each pick.
Oh, and they do manage to take it down the top of the cliff. I was worried it was going to go in the ocean there, but that's control over this. Timing. Too fresh. FFFF as well. Nice little domination there. And Too Fresh shoot it up to 2nd place. Go on, Too Fresh. You better win where we couldn't last round.
Ooh, it seems like Village can contest this at the very least, but again, they've got this hill to be able to play off of. Someone get some bags down. Ooh, there's a heli coming in for Miss Her as well. At the time, a little bit difficult. There it is. The walls goes down. Now it's going to be the standoff. Who's going to go for the first peek? It looks like Pathfeeder wants to go for it. Walling forward. Miss Her does have a nice angle there. Vertile to take down one, bringing this down to a 2v1 for himself.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Pathfeeder was on the Too Fresh team last round. Oh, yep. Vertile gets another kill, and that is both of them fallen. Looks like they're going to defend this heli pretty well, and it is an interesting spot to take it from. They're going to just have this a long push across the field from the villagers and whoever that other team is. Oh. KK goes down. Dog.
Yeah. Just 2 people trained on him.
KK was just alone. KK had absolutely no chance in the middle of 3 squads, but Blue and Dog might make a push towards this heli, but we only have 2 players, Vertile and I Miss Her, standing for Too Fresh, so is a possibility they could get completely swamped.
Yeah, I don't see any bags down for them either, so we'll see. But for right now, I think just the simple fact that, Blue and Dole can roof camp each other on the way up, I might just stop them completely. Oh, there's another base and board. So 4 teams basically in this area to try and possibly contest. We do have, looks like a few members actually on foot currently, but yeah, Villagers are just going to go ahead and chalk that one up and just back away.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for Too Fresh to deal with this, but I think they've managed to get up to top place right now. So whatever they're doing, they're starting to get points on the board, but I Miss Her and Vertile have a huge task on their hand before these boxes stop burning. We got Kaz who? Pushing in. I don't know who Kaz is either.
Oh, he's about to get LOS on them. You can see he's about to crest that hill. Hasn't spotted them quite yet, but they are starting to back away. Unfortunately, Miss Her dropping down, possibly to check on those crates, and he is turned his back onto the squad, and he's going to get spotted, easily sprayed down.
Yeah, go on, Max. I knew they'd have a hard time. I thought they'd get swamped by squads, but they just got swamped by Max, and that was enough. I don't think those crates have stopped burning yet, so that might be too fresh, losing 20 potential points that they nearly had their hands on.
Oh, multiple squads coming in. Blue is going to be on the other side, basically stuck here on the low. And so now it's coming down to the wire. You've got already 3 crates extinguished, but we know how difficult it can be to try and push up onto this patrol helicopter. We do have the walls going down for blue at the very least, but for the villagers, their spray has been absolutely immaculate, particularly for Max right now. He does have a small little standoff up against blue on the other side of this wall. Immersion might have an angle on him, so he's got to be careful on this left side peak. Drop down to 25 HP. They're bringing in a scrap helicopter to try and secure this as well.
And Vertal's respawned, but down on the beach with 16 HP. I don't think there's a lot you can do to try and get these crates back unless he comes up with something absolutely insane. Hopefully, a player gets taken down for him to rob. He's just rock in hand at the bottom of the cliff. Not a lot to be done. Someone like Activator needs to be killed by someone else for him to be able to kit up. It's not going to happen otherwise. No way! And he did it. He had a pistol. He does it. He comes out with a pistol. Is he going to get another? And he gets another. Go on, Vertile.
Oh my god. Unfortunately for him, though, he needs to heal up, and now he's getting full pushed. All the villagers are out here. They know that the raiders are here, and now he's going to try and survive this, but there's the peek from the left-hand side. He will get taken out. I love the grub play, but ultimately, it is not going to work out. He at least picks up a kill point for his squad, but all the loot, all the points from this helicopter is going to go towards the villagers here. Blue's going to have to call it. Now we've got one last patrol helicopter during this attack phase. Throughout all of this, we also have the action that's taking place around Hardpoint. Double have been able to get themselves up to 50 points, but it's too fresh currently now, sitting in first place with 62.
Yeah, the village is going to be happy with that. They've managed to push up to third place just with those 4 crates. So a bunch of kills on the board as well. Blue managed to keep them at bay. The villagers racking up the kills. Too fresh. Must have been getting some really good kills. They haven't seen them around the hard point, and they're sat there in first place. So whatever they're doing it well. Villagers shooting up to second. And villagers going to make that push down to this last blue player. Pathfeed at 12 HP, almost taken down by Kukuska.
Yeah, he's got one more guy there on the left side, so he will have a nice angle. But you can see the rest of the villagers now starting to push up. We want to get these last little bit of kills. There it is, Kukushka going for that peak, even with 9 HP, will ultimately fall. And now, just one last member of blue here remaining. You just got to make sure you don't at least feed away some points as well. But they do have the presence of mind to push up together. You can see the wide swing on the right side, the wide swing from the left as well. He's just getting triangle and boxed in and drop down to 37 HP. Kebab will be able to get the finishing blow and take him out.
Villager Kebab. That's a long ass spray. Where's that? That's another blue player trying to get in on the action from miles away. We'll get sprayed down from 3 players. There's 11 minutes left, though, so the villagers might want to consider taking whatever they got from those boxes home and sort of rekitting, getting a little bit more ready for a raid than running around the field at the minute, because as soon as that clock switches over, you do want to be getting the raids going. We've seen, if there's one thing common between all the winners of Base Invaders, it's as soon as the raid phase starts, they've started raiding and they haven't stopped.
Yeah, and honestly, they've got about 4 bases here that they could be eyeing up. I mean, they've got a few of their kits at the very least, so we got to sense small bits of weakness here, especially when you come down to seeing a team. I don't know, whenever I see like a wood compound here in Base Invaders, especially in 7s, it feels like a small sign of weakness for that squad.
Yeah, it's a bit of an oversight. You see that compound man just completely filled in, completely scuffed. I won't say who or where, but whilst we weren't on stream, we did see some scuffed TC placement as well. There's a base somewhere which is going to fall in about 2 minutes, I swear.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, maybe it's like the meta, like the audacity of just having like a ridiculously placed TC. No one expects it to be in the worst place possible, so we're not even going to boom that for Ooga Booga. Here they are at launch site right now, just trying to control and get some free crates for themselves. Remember, you get points for these as well.
Yeah, but it's not enough.
Oh, not these top ones.
Oh, and it's the hackable crates you get points for. These elite crates don't mean nothing, but they're just easy loot, easy guns, easy boost. But you can see the tactic for Ooga Booga. They've got launch site on lockdown, but they haven't got any placement on the top 10 yet. So not enough people coming to launch site for a fight. Another patrol helicopter inbound, so we will see another fight for that, hopefully.
Yeah, the large majority of the bases are there on the north side. Here on the south side, where launch site is, I mean, there's maybe 3 bases down here, and like you had mentioned, could be easy raid targets at the beginning of the raid phase. Now, Ooga Booga are getting contested by Thug Shake here, but Thug Shake have to walk across this huge expanse, and that rooftop control coming out from Ooga Booga proving to be pretty strong and almost unpushable for them. Now, another team actually coming up behind, Smoke as well from the other side of launch.
All right, buddy.
Ooh, nice little kill there for Ooga Booga. So, even though actually Smoke are above them in overall points, currently in the top 10, our top 10 only separated by about 31. We've got 21 teams in total. Not too
Wow.
surprised by some of the teams that we're seeing there in the bottom because, um, I mean, you get a general feel for the strength of a team based on their base. Dog didn't have the strongest of bases when we were over there on that patrol side. Back over at the hard points, looks like Big Kahuna have finally pushed out from their hilltop right now, but they have 2 squads they have to deal with. They've got Nuts on one side, they got Fade on the other. Mongolius playing inside the tree line right now, but Doe will be able to get that kill. Now, Mongolius tries to go for that peek, jumps in for it, and still wins out on that duel. But the trade is there. Nutsack finishing him off. See if he can get his teammate back up. And there he is. He's got the presence of mind to get him, but he gets challenged once more. 42 HP. Oh, man, this is close.
Yeah, very close. And I think with the amount of people in each Base Invaders event, the meta swings in absolute roundabouts. With the 3-mans, it seems so easy and simple to control the hard point, but with these 7-mans, it's absolute chaos over here. It's really not looking like it's easy to keep a grasp of this hard point when you've got 7-man squads.
Yeah, Double have worked their way up to 65 points, but Big Kahuna, after coming down from that hill, only within 10 points of them with 55 right now. Oh, Nutsack, again, the lone survivor for his squad, but he will still be accruing those points for them. The rest of the Big Kahuna members are here to reinforce at the very least. And with 7 minutes to go, it looks like maybe a lot of teams are starting to maybe pull away from that hard point and start changing their focus, getting and preparing for that raid phase.
Yeah, well, 7 minutes is 2 points every 30 seconds. You got 4 points. So you got 28 points if you can hold that for the rest of the raid phase, for the rest of the attack phase. But 28 is nothing on a TC if you can get that cracking pretty fast as well. So it's not too much of a sacrifice for these other teams just to let Big Kahuna sit there in that hard point and gain that hard point pointage. But the raid points are where this game's really at.
And the last bit of objective points here for the attack phase, the 3rd patrol helicopter has gone down. I believe Kazahi got the last hit on it, but Double, well, I guess Natro is the only one here to try and contest. It's going to be a 2v1 for him. He's already been spotted out, tagged just a bit. Now they're trying to push in from the left. We have a 3rd team showing up from behind those, so Kazahi does have to be careful because they don't really have presence on that side.
Yeah, because he seemed pretty close to it as well compared to Double. But then we've got about and pretty much the entire ping squad pushing in as well. So this could get pretty chaotic. Crate's still burning, will be for another couple of minutes or so. Probably stop burning around about the time that the raid phase starts. So as soon as this helicopter situation is wrapped up, teams are going to be looking at getting raiding.
Yeah, Nature's holding the angle, but there's 3 possible peaks for them, and there it is. Ping, make their presence known, and possibly take out one of that Kazahi squad. So the numbers not looking any better for Nature over there as that lone man for Double who is trying to go on a mission to try and secure this one. As like you said, almost the full team of Ping are here to try and contest for the final points for the final crates.
Yeah, good shots getting traded all around this helicopter, but right now Ping are getting so close to it. They can just keep this control going. They've got map control at the very least. They're pushed right up, pushing up to Kazahi, identified, who will go down easy for Beetle. And it does look like Ping are getting swift control of this heli. Natro about to go down as well. Yeah, Ping have got it. Beautiful stuff. Still could be contested, but by the looks of it, they've got full control.
Yeah, 5 minutes left to go at this point. Just store up your resources back at home. Chalk this one up as a loss. Let them get that one and prepare for that raid phase. With 5 minutes, though, it is too fresh. Currently sitting in the lead, 84 points, 74 to nuts in second place. Villagers not too far behind. We got to see them, of course, taking that second patrol helicopter, just dropped down to fourth place and double now in fifth. And so, even though Big Hunas did get a nice little injection of points by controlling that hard points, they have now found themselves down to about sixth place overall.
It's good to see what Too Fresh can pull off now. They haven't got the dead weight of Bigfoot, Purploo, and Yogi. straight to the top of that board. Now they've had a little switch out of their roster.
Oh man, speaking about some like our stronger teams, FXX is a squad that I am continually impressed with. They tend to find themselves in a very hotly contested area with a lot of teams around him. Tarantula actually have made their way into the compound, and you got Hashirama actually controlling their. Oh wait, never mind. No, he's all the way over at Oxums. Never mind. I thought possibly he had roof control for his squad, but the compound here right now, two members of Tarantula inside FXX, getting all of their members up top to the roof because you do not want to lose your roof. 3 minutes left to go in the attack phase.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the plan of Tarantula because they're right next door as well. So yeah, this is a get rid of the neighbors sort of thing going down, and definitely a good plan. You do want to get rid of those neighbors as quick as possible. I'm liking this base a lot. This has got a lot of wide space for shooting down, a lot of doors, and some good high quality core. The TC could be somewhere in that core even, but we don't know. And a stone compound for once, of course.
Yeah, they've got their work cut out for them though if they want to go for FXX. But sometimes, of course, we do see multiple squads maybe just kind of have a slight truce. They will give each other some love taps here or there, but you can see just how close they are. Just being in the vicinity, having roof access, and being able to roof camp any kind of raiders and counter raid in that regard makes it extremely difficult. FXX though are on the complete low ground, so these rooftops have direct line of sight into their shooting floors.
This is a really important rooftop if Tarantul can grab a hold of it.
Oh.
But it's looking pretty difficult to do so. You've got turrets and the squad up there. And you got people peeking down too. Not really loving the outer peaks on this base. There's not really a lot to be done unless you're in the corner looking right beneath you. So this is actually quite an easy base to raid, to be honest.
Yeah, would like a few rams possibly there just to give you easier peaks. Jumping up for it just leaves you so vulnerable. And they still haven't been able to expel all of the Tarantula members. I mean, Doja's still back at base, though. He's on their roof for Tarantulas. So, again, just being stuck on that low ground makes it incredibly difficult, especially, like you said, the peaks not quite there for them. Taking a look at the edges of the map, though, here is Team Blue. We saw them earlier trying to contest. Does seem like they might have pushed out, or are they completely gone? Where are they right now?
Yeah, maybe they're farming, or maybe they're ready to raid already. Like up on another base.
Oh, they are pushing up. They are onto the Hoonigan's base. Not that big of a base, honestly.
No, it's not very
this could be
big,
just an easy
mate?
pummel. Nuts are here as well. A lot of teams eyeing this base. It looks juicy for the Raiden.
Yeah, Hoonigan's going to get boomed again from both sides right now. It's not going to be easy. Two different teams with raid platforms ready. Did Nuts know that Blue are there as well? Because this is going to be, this base is not going to last very long. I'd give it 5 minutes top.
Yeah, again, when it comes down to sevens, right? If you've got, 3 launchers possibly on everybody, that's an easy 20 rocket volley onto this side, just completely gutting to the core. The Hoonigans, though, are trying to put up a defense right now. They don't have full roof. They do have a shooting floor at the very least to try and peek out from. But again, you're going to be attacked from 2 sides now, and it's complete opposite sides of the base as well.
They haven't even finished. If you go up to the roof, you can see that they've got turrets protected by twig.
My thatch.
They haven't finished, mate. They need to upgrade that twig. MP5 turrets protected by twig. These guys haven't played Base Invaders before, I don't think. What is this?
Oh boy. So this might be one of the first TCs to go down. We've got 20 seconds left On the attack phase, we're going to have that boom going down early. One member of blue does end up
Oh, one
falling,
blue
and
does fall.
trying to see exactly where the raid platform is. There we go. A little bit further back, but blue want to be closer for this one. Try to possibly push in instantly once they get breach, once they get rid of compound, and then contest from there. There it is. Now, as we enter into the raid phase, the first signs of boom, they will go ahead and push through into the breach.
They're really not they're not waiting for anything other, just straight in there from both sides, like I said. And if I've predictions correct, before this timer in the top left says 125, this base will be done.
I mean, it's not unheard of, especially when it comes to sevens, of having TCs being taken within the first minute. But it wasn't full control over this space, right? Hoonigans were trying to put up a defense.
Yeah.
They were in their shooting floor, at least slowing things down. But Nuts are inside the compound as well. And that's why you saw so much focus being put on getting into the compound. You need to fight over this. Nuts going for a peek, finding one kill. Might try to go for a secondary pick here as blue challenges, but P7 will be able to win that one out. Now, Macross is going to try and go for that trade, and he ends up getting it at the very least. We'll see if he can get his teammates back on up here. And there it is, the first TC. That's going to be Borcha going down.
Yeah, Too Fresh made short work of that base. I mean, they must have just had that good prediction on where to go for TC, to be honest. I think they found it just second floor, maybe. Yeah, they would have just, it might have just been second floor. It must have been,
yeah,
terrible
it's just not that large of a base, honestly. I mean, it looks kind of big from the outside, but it was a 2x2 core. And we know that you need a little bit more. You need to have so many like triangles set up, doors everywhere, just that absolute maze where even, the defenders will get lost in it. And there it is. That's going to be Kazahi able to pick up the TC for themselves as well. His typical advent calendar kind of base, but the C4 boom was just too fast.
So yeah, Boss just been taken out by Kazahi, Borcha by Too Fresh, and that does leave Too Fresh and Kazahi right on the top of that leaderboard. But Too Fresh got a slightly comfortable lead with 26 points extra. But as soon as this TC goes down too, you're going to see Nuts hot on the tail of Too Fresh if they get it, of course, because this is actually a three-way fight still. You've got Nuts, you've got Blue, and you've got the Hoonigans trying to defend their base from two full squads, but it's really not looking good. This small, kind of unfinished base is completely breached, and it's just a matter of finding the TC now. It does look like Nuts have the advantage, though. Already into third place now, too. Oh, yeah, there's the armored doors. Yeah, might be getting close.
Yeah, Hoonigans only with rooftop access, and it looks like a lot of them are just on bag timers here. And it's just full control for Nuts. That duel that they were able to win out. Even though Macross did get some trades, Nuts were able to just reinforce faster. Oh, expose doors down to the core as well now. We'll see. It's just a matter of time. It's all about delaying here. But again, it's not just about getting the TC with having Hoonigans stuck inside of their base. You're also looking for that sulfur for that next raid as well.
Yeah, I wonder how much loot Hoonigans are holding on to, because I mean, even if they were ready to go raiding when the raid phase started, there was not much they could do. As you can see what Nuts are up to, just making short work of anyone that's trying to do anything about their control. The boom's going to keep on coming out, I think. It's probably, the TC's probably in this core. We're starting to see a bit more armored in the middle there, so if they can just work their way through this door spiral, maybe even blast through an entire I would just blast through one of those armored walls, to be honest. I reckon it's behind that armored wall. But they can keep going. Shouldn't be too hard for them to locate it. They're almost less than 40 points behind Too Fresh as well. So if they grab this TC and a few more kills, they might be in first place. All that work that Too Fresh had done to get that first place position going to be knocked down if Nuts keep on going like this.
Yeah, it's about efficiency of time, not efficiency of resources. You're just trying to race for that TC first. Still a lot of challenging going on inside of the core. And as we take a better look on the outside, Nuts have almost full control over this base, multiple levels of shooting for being controlled as well. So there's just no point whatsoever, or no possibility really for the Hoonigans to try and fight back. I mean, I don't know if they'll be able to even find any of their loot inside of this base throughout all of this confusion. Their beds are getting taken down as well. So Nuts just need to finish this one off. We'll see though if the blue members can try and come back in. They were the other squad on the other side coming in from the south to try and contest this one. But it looks like the Nuts are doing a great job of just controlling this.
Yeah, Nuts have amazing control. I mean, Too Fresh really want blue to counter this properly, but It doesn't look like it's going to happen. I'm sure Blue want it for themselves as well, but Nuts are just walking around this base like there's nothing to stop them.
They're getting slowed down just a bit here, though. Just being a little bit confused. Again, as long as your TC is behind a door, you have to have access to it through a door. It is, of course,
I swear it's
legal,
man.
and they're just finding it difficult to actually spot this one out. It could be behind anything at this point, but for right now, Nuts still have great control currently. The C4 booming
They
out, and
got
there it
it.
is. We've
It's in the
got
core,
confirmation.
Not quite where I thought it was in the middle, but it was in the middle, and also not quite 1 minute 25, 1 minute 24 and 40 seconds. So the psychic abilities are dwindling, I'm afraid. But that is 40 points to Nuts as Hoonigans get taken out. Nuts taking that first place, 4 points ahead of Too Fresh, but Too Fresh themselves might be halfway through a raid right now.
Yeah, for Nuts though, they also ended up picking up a lot of PvP points, and Blue are still here looking to contest at the very least. Maybe they can pick up some loot. We have 4 raids still going on the north side, and not surprised by that. It's going to be FXX actually losing out on a little bit of their compound. Tarantula were eyeing them up earlier. They've got their roofs open, and they just not have their turrets actually set up.
No, this is the Tarantul base. You just got it back to front there. That's all.
Oh.
Do you not recognize the weirdness, the weird squared block from 5 minutes ago? This with the 0 peak down square block. I don't know how they. No, wait there. Have I got it back to front?
Yeah, this is FXX's base.
Yeah, I got it back to front.
About how
So
they
got
peak downs. But yeah,
it was
they have
Tarantul
full
trying to
roof
come in. Yeah, it
control.
was Tarantul trying to come in. I'm the one with it back to front, but those turrets, you're right, mustn't have been on. So they have now. They got this roof control. It's probably going to be GG's. FXX are in the middle now.
Oh, we never really get to see FXX on like the back foot in the past 2 months that I've been able to cast Base Invaders. You know, they are typically more of the aggressors, but having Tarantula basically set up on them so early on now. As you can see, they're going to try and push into the actual inner shell of the base currently. A few members of FXX are alive, but the question is, were they able to find any loadouts? Were they able to get up any guns to try and actually contest? And it seems like they're getting cleaned up by Tarantula.
Not really sure exactly what's going on inside there right now, but we'll get back with the camera in a second. There we go. So yeah, they're just starting to crack their way through these advent doors and take out the core. Tarantula having pretty steady control. FXX probably regretting the base build and also having those turrets off or out of ammo, because the turrets were on before when Tarantula were trying to like just ladder into the base. They were getting taken out by the turrets to start with. So I'm not sure what happened later on. Maybe the ammo was bled dry, or maybe the generator was found through a wall or something. I don't know.
Yeah, real quickly, want to apologize. Of course, we did have some technical issues, but we do have it fixed right now. The background sound is on, and you know, unfortunately, it comes down to the delay. Hard for us to really respond as quickly as possible, but we do have it active, so thank you so much for sticking with us. But yeah, Tarantula here in the FXX space. There's just almost no opportunity whatsoever. All the C4 going down inside these doorways as well. It's gonna be a nice little cacophony, little symphony of destruction. But again, we do know how these bases can try and delay, but that's all it's going to do at this point.
So far, all these doors empty.
Oh. There was a small little moment there to try and come up with a heroic play. It would have to have been the 1v3 of the century there, though. But they spot out a ladder hatch. They're going to try and boom that one out.
It might be that one. One more door. Could be. Could just be another red herring with plenty more to come. Yeah, another. Oh, keep on going. It's looking promising, to be honest. There's a lot leading this way. And that's probably behind a wall up on the top floor, so it could be pretty well hidden. Yeah, there we go. That's the one. Bang, bang. FXX eliminated by Tarantul, who shot up to 4th place.
Man. I am not used to FXX going down this early. Hey, typically we at least see them in the top 6, but within the first 10 minutes, Now, over here at the ping base, Big Kahuna set up around. Already broken into the compound, did a little bit of work on that rooftop. Very similar kind of roof access there to what we saw from FXX, but Big Kahuna are just trying to pummel in from the side. A lot of beds set up in the compound. That's going to be easily cleared. Dominic trying to get out of dodge there, but a very little defense actually coming out from our defenders.
Ping, you see this bit on the top left of the base? They're just trying to redefine the meaning of wide peak here.
Oh, man. At this point, though, it looks like the pummel is starting to progress for Big Kahuna, and you have to be careful. Once you start hearing those rockets, someone needs to do something. Someone needs to try and find an opening on the outside to try and contest and slow down the boom, but it seems it's a wide angle coming out from all the rocketers. Possibly a nice 90-degree setup for this rocket fire to come in. No one at all, even on the roof, to try and shoot out. There is one member inside of the compound has been spotted out, and he gets taken out. So Ping with very little defenses left here.
Yeah, it's really important for Ping to hold on what they've got. Hold on to what they've got, and that is the roof control. It's where their loot is. It's where their beds is. If that top floor gets attacked, I think it's pretty much over for Ping.
Actually peeks out, is able to take out the one member of Big Kahuna that was inside of the compound, and here's Sylvunker, who's been on a really wide swing. He's going to be on the raid platform. We'll see if he has possibly any boom to get rid of these beds, or if he's just completely naked. Yeah, you're not getting anything out of that box, brother, but nice try. Nice try.
Oh, he was out where he needed to be, but he didn't have what he needed to have, did he? And he just gets a little bit of info at the very least, but that's not really the most important thing right now. Boom still coming into the side of the base. The top of the base is falling apart too. Ping aren't really showing any signs of being able to do anything about this attack.
Yeah, they're just stuck on that rooftop, and that's kind of the weakness you put to yourself, man. If the only point that you can defend from is the roof, what are you going to do when you need to actually push out? They do have this full coverage of AK turrets up top, but honestly, it's just a free pummel from the side for Big Kahuna to try and deal with this. Now, it is a little bit expensive. It is a little bit slower, but eventually you have to imagine they will get in with the C4. Here's the next raid for 2 Fresh, or at least maybe FFF posturing up. Vertile is here on the roof, and that's going to be roof control now for 2 Fresh, who are currently sitting in 2nd place. We do have another TC going down. That's going to be Sleep picking that one up, taking out Team Rot.
Yeah, that'll put Sleep pretty high up with the board as well, but not quite in the top 3. 2 Fresh looking to keep their place in the top 3 with this raid, shooting up to first if they do get it pretty soon. Got Fug Shake here. Looks like it's defended. We got Apsy from 2 Fresh. And Dole taken down by Blue, so Blue get a good raid on the board after losing a raid earlier on.
Oh, looks like, again, multiple squads contesting for this one. Villagers were on the other side. Their base, of course, up on that high ground hill. And so we were expecting a lot of these raids basically to be taking place where the large chunk of the bases are. And we smelled some weakness in some of these bases earlier on. And the players themselves were able to identify it early. So I'm glad that Blue were able to bounce back from that raid loss earlier and just go on to straight to the next one. I mean, honestly, it was what, probably 5 minutes in between that last raid as well. So really quick bounce back for them.
Yeah, well, you just got to keep moving, mate. Like, that's the thing. Anyone that ever wins base invaders is they've just been move. They haven't just been the most aggressive team, but the fastest team is always the thing. You've got to put one raid over, next raid started, and you've got to have consistency in winning them, of course. Getting those points, racking them up. There's nothing that beats the 40 points you get from a TC. And in these 7-mans, actually, well, I think what we might have seen in the last event was people were getting defense points whilst they were getting raid points because half the team was home. Villagers making that excellent push and taking down that last Blue player in that area. Could have made that push back to the base, possibly. Still handful of raids happening on the map, though. Smoke looked like they've managed to get rid of 2 Fresh.
Was this the base that we were talking about earlier? Like the high ground with the compound that was absolutely
scuffed. Yeah, completely scuffed. But it doesn't seem to have cost them too much because 2 Fresh seem to have been sent home. So that won't be 40 points on the board for them just yet. This does look like Ping moving in from the outside, so it does probably mean that a lot of their beds are gone, but still 2 players on the roof. Like I said, this roof control is absolutely crucial for the ping team. They're still managing to maintain that, but Big Kahuna pushing in. No one from Big Kahuna is inside the base right now, so they know what's clearing out. And if they can just seal up and get this finished, they might actually get the defense points.
Wow, they're able to hunker down. Things were looking really bad for them. Big Kahuna, I don't know where they kind of dropped the bag here, as they're just bleeding out members, putting themselves on timer classic, cleaning up 2 more as well, and he is pushed up completely, and there it is. They're starting to deal with this platform. One of the beds already gone, and he's going to be able to camp this, make sure no one gets here whatsoever. Nice, great defense for Ping, who honestly, we kind of wrote off. We thought this was over.
Yeah, it didn't look good for them at all, but they somehow managed to just gain that control back. They also, I mean, they looked quite slim on loot as well. Like, there was one point where they just even seemed to have everyone in the kit, but after winning that raid defense, I'm sure they'll have a few more kits. They might even have some boom left over to use for themselves. Got Kasahi, we've got Milk here. Looks like Milk have built a raid platform in between the 2 bases, even though both bases are extremely close to each other. And Kasahi also got one of those nice, huge, wide caps at the top there. They've probably been boomed a little bit. E-ball does go down. Some defense coming in from the roof as Decker makes a push in, trying to get some loot together. Does find a body with a rocket launcher, and they're going to probably keep booming.
And we'll see if there's an opportunity possibly to try and ladder up. Taking a look at the positioning of the turrets, though they are there up on that rooftop. But you might actually be able to play off that. Almost all the members of Kazahi are up here right now. Taking a look at another raid. It does seem like double with the defense. No, this is going to be Fed. Currently trying to defend here. Multiple squads coming in to try and contest this as well. We'll see if they can survive. Wow, okay. Their base is in shambles right now. You can see absolutely gutted from this one side.
Yeah, these big square bases, especially if you forget to close your carriage door like these guys, it doesn't take long to work your way through them, especially with the rockets and that. So yeah, there's a lot not really happening for this base. It is in absolute shambles, almost a skeleton as they just try and find that TC.
At least on the inside, there are some people with kits in the inner peaks currently putting up the defense, slowing things down at the very least, possibly hoping for other counters to come in and give them the opportunity to try and push out themselves. Double have the rooftop control for this one, though.
God, it's been boomed top down, it's been boomed from the side in. It's a really, really hard one to get control of again.
Yeah, that core is just absolutely exposed. There's just nothing stopping them. They just need to find basically just the time to slow down the counter raiders, possibly. But here we go. And that's from the other side, working their way through the honeycomb currently. But we know that they are behind in terms of just the pacing of this raid so far. On the other side, they've basically absolutely gutted it, made it look like a tin can. Essentially, how they were able to tear through it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're bothering to go through the honeycomb right now when this base is completely open, but I mean, just as long as it's getting boomed, you're making some sort of progress. Maybe just not exactly where you want to be making it, though. Fully open on this other side. It's got Sleep coming in as well. Fade in the area. There's a lot of people gunning for this one TC. Fade, most of them are inside the base. I did see 1 or 2 outside. Yeah, Big Kahuna coming from one side. Nuts from another.
Volley from that north side as well. The rockets are slowly putting in work. We know that there is a slight advantage here to the south. Excuse me. Oh, nice little push out from Cougar. We'll go ahead and take out 2 members that were controlling the roof for double, so that's going to slow things down. Now that might be an opportunity for them to shore up their defenses inside that inner peak, clear that one out, possibly push out and try to get a seal off and at least get some walls down on this compound.
Oh, I don't think they can do it. Look how much you need to seal. There's 4 teams, 4 different angles gunning for Fade's TC. Maybe Rubenix got a bit of an idea what they're doing now. Doors this way. So this, I doubt the TC's over here because this is the least built up area. You know, there's loads and loads of doors are missing. But still worth keep pushing in from any angle you can. It's going to be C4. Oh, there's Armored on the other side. Could be an 8C4 to TC right now.
the silent threat. Currently, they have to worry about, of course, the absolutely exposed side. I don't know if they are actually able to distinguish where the spoon is coming from, where the C4 is currently blowing. Two members of Nuts currently inside of the base, and there's honestly no one even trying to contest them, unfortunately, because, well, they can't even get off the rooftop currently.
Both sides in the C4 that door from both sides. Oh well, it seems like they got plenty of C4 in their pockets though. They just need to keep pushing through this because no one is actually hot on this angle. It's quite a good. I didn't think it was a good angle to come in to start with, but it seems like they're really getting away with it. No, they're here.
Just so many threats. We mentioned maybe 3, 4 teams here for the raid currently. So how do you deal with all of these threats? Now, one member has gone down here. Sleep have been able to push in, and they'll be able to try and make progress where Nuts just ended up losing right there. Nuts, though, do have close respawns. They do have a raid platform, but they've also got their base not too far off as well. Bigfoot is showing up for the counter as well.
Yeah, Sleep making sure to work at this side as well. God, this is so many people in one base. 7 mans are nuts.
Yeah, we thought there were maybe 3 squads here. It looks like possibly 4. We could even talk it up to 5 at this point. Sleep, though, the one's currently controlling with that nice little play, able to get inside. We do have some building going on, though, as they're trying to seal up. But again, where do you even start? You can see a lot of the honeycomb has been dealt with, and now you've got Cougar losing out on his duel up against Not Concerned. Luckily for him, though, some of the doors are closed. But yeah, this inner peak is absolutely gutted.
Big Kahuna still inside the base, Sleep still inside the base, Double on the outside of the base, Big Kahuna on the outside of the base. Not quite people in the areas there was before. They might have given up to an extent. But then their base is right next door, so if they just keep on it. Ooga Booga flying in as well. It just seems to be one player in a scrappy right now. Well, no, 2 players, sorry. Are they going for this base as well? No.
Oh, okay.
There we have it. Yeah,
that's the air support. They've actually been able to push out towards their raid platform, cleared out a lot of them, put them on timers. Now they need to re-kit and push out. You can see you got the UAV active in the area right now, just providing overwatch for the squad.
No, but if you can get away with it, flying over in the scrapper with your AK and getting some beams off, it's actually a really good tactic, man. I've seen it a few times and it worked really effectively. And never mind the shots, you've got information. You can tell people who's on their flank from what angle. It's actually really, really OP to have people up in the air with you.
Now, Sleep, though, we're able to get the respawns, and now tides are turning. A few members of Ooga Booga are actually going down. They've got to respawn themselves. See so much action. It's everyone trying to race for that paid base, but you can hear that the boom has kind of slowed down.
So close.
That was absolutely crazy. Almost taking him out there, but the evasive maneuvers coming out from Ooga Booga, keeping them alive. More HVs as well. Wizard sending out the lightning bolts his way. Oh my goodness.
The first HV was so close, and you know, if Ooga Booga just had a rocket with them right now, they could have been taking out those beds, to be honest, but looks like they're going to be sent packing, and all this AK spray on that Scrappy's bringing it right down, and player health dropping too. They're only going to just make it away with their life, I think. Sleep holding on, getting rid of that air support from Ooga Booga as it came in, and yeah, it seems to be a bit of a trade, but Ooga Booga were doing this last week as well.
Throughout all of that, that meant that lull in action allowed Nuts actually to kind of get back into the space, but it's going to be double. Oh! There
I guess.
As soon as he takes out that wall, but did he end up getting taken out? There we go. The remaining C4 will go ahead and clear that one up. Double finds a nice lull in the action to get back into the base and secure that TC for themselves. That's going to push them up into 4th place. Now only 5 points behind 2 Fresh, who have dropped down to 3rd place. Nuts, though, now in 1st with 223.
Did you see the timing on that, mate? The double players were cleared out from the base, but it was one of the extra C4 that was on the wall. Too many C4 for a metal wall. And as the wall dropped, the last C4 dropped on the floor and finished off that TC just as the double players were cleared out, and Nuts moved in for the TC themselves just seconds too late.
And it looks like we were just on the tail end there of a raid defense for Big Kahuna. As team did get into their compound, but they were easily cleared out. That high ground angle for them. Now, as we join on board with King, similar kind of geography when it comes to the base placements here, but too fresh. As it looks like they might be trying to get onto that rooftop and possibly shoot down. Team Smoke, though, now with 2 squads in the area, have their work cut out for them on the defense.
We got 3 players are too fresh up on this top floor. 1 floor below. Getting boom from the side of the base as well. This is the Smoke base, I think.
Yeah, 2 fresh, have control of the shooting floor. Only 2 members of Smoke currently inside. There we go, a 3rd spawning in, and everyone else basically on outer bags. King not finding an opportunity to try and push into this compound. There's that shooting floor access for 2 fresh. It was just too good. So it looks like it might just be 2 fresh now in full control over this base.
Yeah, it's Smoke almost helping out 2 fresh with killing off a Ping, but I mean, they've got to kill someone. They can't just let them attack, and the doors are falling.
The doors are open.
Someone's just
that makes it so
chat,
much easier now for
TC's
them.
on roof. Maybe they're right, yeah. I mean, there's nothing else on roof, so they were lying. I mean, TC on roof.
Was able to just actually fly in with the mini.
No way.
And now he's actually contesting. What just happened? They were not expecting it whatsoever. This was full control. Coming out from 2 fresh, lost by a heroic play coming out from Ping. And now they have taken control over this raid. The C4 going down.
What a surprise attack. 2 fresh, definitely weren't expecting that. There's still a couple of them standing. Got iMisser and Apsy. It's funny how these guys sometimes they just end up in different corners of the base booming. Just like not even fighting each other, just like I'm gonna beat you to it, but Ping are pushing in, they're not gonna stay in one corner. 2 fresh just cooped up in this tiny little bedroom, 3 men in a bed.
Oh boy, they're kind of stuck here. Hopefully someone has ladders at the very least, but you do have access to the splash damage, deal with 3 doors, they're getting rid of beds as well. So possibility of defending for Smoke dwindling here as they've lost full control over their base. They've got 2 teams inside currently right now, making short work of all these doors. This is the nice thing about being able to get in with the rockets. That splash, dealing with so many doors in one go. And now, as they continue to make their way on through, they're fighting a little bit difficult. I have to imagine that you kind of just lose sight of like what day it is. Where are we currently inside this base?
Yeah, some of these bases are like complete mazes, man. Even your own base, I got lost in my own base, like I was saying earlier, and it can get a bit of a headache, to be honest, when you're just trying to get out or find your way through. But I mean, when you've got that boom, you only really have to think about 2 things: keep booming forward and keep covering the behind, and you know you might be alright. You might get flanked by Ping flying in on a heli.
Looks like a lot of the members of Ping actually were cleared out. Possibly one inside. No, just inside the compound currently. So 2 fresh have to play their lives on the inside. Smoke, though, still able to spawn in, but I'm wondering if they're able to find any kind of loot, any kind of loadouts for themselves at the very least. Possibly one member of Smoke stuck. No, it's going to be 2 fresh. They do have ladders at the very least to get out. But, was able to spot it out. Was behind that garage door, and that TC will finish it off. That's going to be 2 fresh. Securing the TC for themselves, putting themselves back up into 1st place now, but not by much. Team Nuts currently in 2nd place, only 4 points behind them, and even the spread down to 3rd. Kazahi are within 20.
Yeah, I think by the time 2 fresh get home, they'll be in 2nd place again, probably. Nuts only gonna have to get a couple more kills to come out on top. Ping Beetle there, taken down. Classic still standing, but there's not really much for them to do now. The TC's been taken out. They might fight for the loot. It's actually only iMisser standing, so if iMisser goes down, yeah, Ping are going to have to be able to get hold of this loot, but I mean, the loot has got its value, but it's definitely got nothing on 40 points. As 2 fresh easily rack that up and spawn back in the base, thinking about where's next, probably. And Ping, they might just go home as well, you know. Just there probably wasn't even that much loot in the Smoke base. There wasn't really much around that area.
Yeah, back over to Sleep as it's the villagers' turn now for the raid, and they are starting that rocket pummel from the side, dealing with a lot of these doors currently, as it looks like possibly another team showing up. Double on the other side, their base just across the road as well. When you hear that boom, you want to go for that contest. Zahi, currently now in third place, might be eyeing this one up as well to come in for the counter. Sleep, though, still have full access to their roofs right now. They will have nice line of sights onto the villagers. We'll see if they decide to finally push into the breach, and there is Max is in there.
Yeah, they're not really doing much. The whole side of this base is starting to fall apart. We need to do a little bit more on the defensive side. Sleep to get their guns out and start peeking, because there's going to be some big holes in the side of this base soon.
Oh, the counter. Excuse me. One of the defenders were able to push out. That's going to be Smiley. And he does end up dealing with one at the very least, but that's not going to slow down the pummel coming out from the outside. You can see them, the villagers playing this one extremely safe. Their raid platform so far away, but they've got a nice little crossfire set up. And of course, the line of walls to deal with that double are eyeing this from the other side, but I can imagine the road placement is going to make it a little bit more difficult for them to try and contest this raid.
Yeah, what are Sleep actually doing right now? Like, I've barely seen any defense apart from the one kill you mentioned. So far, the village is just left completely free just to keep booming. You got Prosto peeking, but
they do have two members outside of the compound currently. We saw Smiley able to take out Max. He might have an extra kit for the second person that spawned out there. And that might be their opening. You just gotta hope, if you're asleep, that your TC isn't on this side of the base. And that will buy you just enough time. Nice little spray down there from Prosto, taking out Pathfeeder, who actually survived. 13 HP.
Shouldn't be stunned. He should have been knocked there, really. But yeah, still standing, gonna med up. This boom's still coming in, and if they've got the right side, you know, they might get lucky. Somewhere behind these armor, you know, with so much resource, so many resources, you know, the beds, the turrets, and the armored up on that top floor. That might be the location of the TC, maybe. The rebuild is coming in from the side, but you know, it's not going to be full strength, and it might be pretty easy just to take that back out. But Frosto did get a couple crucial kills from the front line, but the back line with the rockets was still standing there, still pummeling. Kebab still sending those slices in. Village's base, though.
Oh.
So now they've got a problem, because they're overextended 2 places and trying to maintain 2 fights. Do they give up the raid and come back and defend? The rooftop beds are taken out. Villager Tom gets taken out, respawning back at home. Only a few more beds on this top floor to take out, and then they can probably just start booming in from the top.
Yeah, and you could just get pushed into the shell as well. So the villagers have to F1, go back to base. Unfortunately for them, they were making such good progress on that raid. They got slowed down too much. Sleep, nice push out from their compound. Not just sticking on their roof, actually able to get in. Now we're going to see, that's basically like, it is like a thermite, right? Go straight down with all the C4. Hopefully it's right in this triangle. We'll see though. Now things are looking so dire for the villagers who are currently in 9th place, but there it is, getting straight through.
It's not just honeycomb. That's not the base I thought it was. There was another base earlier that was lit full honeycomb in the middle, but this one is not. So that's actually, like you said, thermite drilling straight down, going to do them some good. Blue Andre taking down the Circus. Oh my days, the defenses actually came through. Yeah, Blue is pushing. We've got one Russian dude pushing back up, but will be taken straight back down. And villagers have actually managed to do the defense so far. Looks like, yeah, looks like it's done. Beautiful stuff for villagers there.
Yeah, it's just going to be one wall to seal up the compound, and that is it. There's a scrappy on the outside, and you're able to deal with a lot of the things on the roofs. You can see all those boxes taking it out, a large majority of the beds as well, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be any opportunity for Blue to come back. I'm wondering if possibly he left one member over there back at that sleep base to try to at least maintain some sort of control over their raid platform. But yeah, I feel like everyone has to have one. Now Too Fresh, though, finding themselves on the wrong side of a raid, currently in the defense. Their core currently exposed, but a few members of Fresh are currently inside. The drop down coming in, but he gets cleaned up. Hashirama keeping that one alive for his squad right now. Going for another peek as well. He's clearing that one out. Now, Straffy controlling the outside currently. FFF, though, comes in from the flank. and we'll be able to clean him up.
It's interesting to see this base start to be dismantled because it's, yeah, like I said, I was talking about living in it last event. It's such a huge base, man. There's so many doors. And they were telling us it's never going to get raided, but it's already looks like it's possible. But the defense is coming in pretty well. You've even got one member of blue trying to get back in there. Villagers also looking pretty nice. They managed to defend that, rebuild. Their neighbors blue might come back and attack them again, or maybe blue are more distracted with too fresh. But this neighborhood is popping off in a bug shake. Looks like they're raiding Ooga Booga right now, and Ooga Booga have 3 or 4 players in the base, but the base itself is again starting to look like a bit of a skeleton. A big square one. I've seen this quite a few times, and you can see how open they are once they start getting blasted. That armored door is looking a little bit suspicious, and maybe a little bit too obvious of a place for the C4 to be, but we'll see in a second. Lays goes down, we'll get revved.
Yeah, it looks like they're eyeing this one up. I mean, there's very few spots remaining, basically. And so now it's all about finding the boom. C4 going down on the armored door. Just like dead room, unfortunately. But, of course, they've got the loot, actually, to pick up as well. So hopefully they can get a little bit more boom to keep going here. Clean things up. We're now down to 54 minutes, almost halfway through the raid phase here. Currently, 12, 13 teams remaining. Team Nuts and Too Fresh currently on top of the leaderboard, only 5 points, splitting them up. Kazai not too far behind, double within TC and a little bit of PvP range to get themselves into top as well.
Yeah, I'm sure Too Fresh would love to be raiding right now, but their base is being sliced a bit, so they're a little bit busy. Still going to get some points on the board if they do manage to succeed with that defense. But Nuts have such good momentum as well. It's actually a really tight race for first place this time, and that's nice to see, because sometimes, you know, we end up with one player with absolutely hundreds of points ahead of everyone else. It's really nice to see these neck-and-neck races, so we get a little bit of tension as we move towards the end of this event. Just like you said, there's been it's just less than an hour left, so we're almost halfway. Another 8 minutes, we'll be halfway through the raid phase. We'll have a little bit more of an idea where these players are at. Ooga Booga. Looking for someone to kill right now. A little bit lost in the base, lost in his own base like I was.
No, it's nice to see, because typically a lot of we don't see the teams on top of the leaderboard, right? Their base is getting raided this early on. Throughout the phase, we typically see a lot of snowballing. But here does the defense coming up from Uga. P7 has to leave as Thugshake try to chase him down. They'll be able to get their teammate back on up. A few members of Ooga Booga right above. Still on the rooftop right now, putting up a slight defense here, as Thugshake, though, are fully inside. You can see about 3 members, 4 members inside. 1 member trying to maintain control, but the nice little spray down from Eddie should be able to pick one up as he backs away with 7 HP. Now things are looking a little bit difficult for the Raiders here.
The battle is continuing on this top floor, but it's piece by piece. The Raiders still alive. Yeah, a little bit of a dry spot with the actual booming, but they're still alive and shooting and fighting for space. Lays is pushing back in with some kit. There's some shots coming from outside as well somewhere, I think.
Ooga Booga, though, still maintain this group at the very least. Unfortunately for them, they just don't have an inner peak. They can't really go down. There it is, suppressed. I mean, for Peak himself, as members are redeploying and getting back inside, they do have access to that core. And it's only the rooftop defense for Ooga Booga at this point. So just full control now. Coming back for Thugshake currently as they're making their way through this space. They still have it worked out, though. There's still a large majority of this base that they have to get through. And now the C4 is commencing.
Yeah, it's a bit more boom starting back up, but still plenty of place this TC could be. It's just a matter of maintaining control as Ooga Booga still have control of the roof. Thugshake goes down. Well, one of them does. Didn't catch the name just before we cut out, but there's 2 more free raids happening up in the north. We've got Big Kahuna, Milk, and Kazaki all in the Milk base. So that is Milk trying to deal with a double raid.
Yeah, this is a tall boy, not a wide boy. So you got your work cut out for it. As Milk still have that roof, but Big Kahuna will have a nice little line of sight on that one. from their rooftop if they want to put someone up there. And, you know, the tree line actually kind of working out to block out a lot of the angles for the rooftop defenders. And so that's going to allow Big Kahuna to actually walk up basically for free. Beckon is down here trying to contest. Kev is stuck inside of the base. Does he have any ladders? I have to imagine he's screaming to get out.
Not.
I mean,
you might just have to boom
your way out.
You'll die. He'll boom himself too. I mean, boom damage is reduced in this event, but it's still enough to kill you in a tight spot like that. Team Sleep still look like they're doing okay. I mean, considering that so many panels of the base off the side removed earlier on, I mean, they've been holding on. I mean, boom is still hitting them, but the repairs have came in at some point, and looks like the repairs got back up to... Yeah, see, this is the side we saw earlier on where there was in complete shambles, and now there's only 3 panels missing, so that's pretty good for Sleep. I'm sure they're getting some good points on the board for raid defense, but not having the time to go and raid themselves might be a little bit awkward for their score altogether. 2 Fresh's base is also in shambles still.
Yeah, and another team showing up as well. Blue here on the other side, and so the defense is not quite over. Tarantula still inside of their base, inside of that shell, and 2 Fresh are trying to evict him currently. You can see Nerm going in, but that doesn't work out for him. A lot of members on the hunt. You might have heard him. One member of Tarantula going down. It's a nice little pickup for Vertile to take out one, but you can see that the fights are so split up because of the design of the base that not just like an open shell, right? You still have all these corridors you have to deal with, so you can find your isolated little 1v1s. Blue, though, have made their way inside the compound now, so the threats are just continuing to mount onto this 2 Fresh base.
Yeah, 2 Fresh base is just an absolute maze of doors as well, so once you get in there, there's a lot more booming to be done. Plenty of triangles in there as well. It's not just a full square. If you look at the top footprint, you can see it's got the hexagon middle, square off each side, then it's 50-50 with the squares and triangles, unlike some of these big square ones. It's good to have a high ratio of triangles. It keeps people moving. It keeps people moving around your base. It means you have to use a lot more boom as well.
There we go. The rockets still coming in onto this side of the 2 Fresh base, and it was really unfortunate because 2 Fresh currently, you know, they're at 267 now. They might be able to get the full raid defense. That'll be 40 points if these raids last long enough. But you can see, because they were sent home, because they have to defend right now, Nuts and Kazahi were able to pull ahead. You are getting some PvP points, but I'd rather be going for that big boom. We got 47 minutes remaining here in the raid phase. We're still at about 12 squads remaining, 13 possibly here, as now the villagers will show up, and now actually with the counter coming out from the villagers, this could be an opportunity. Blue getting cleaned up.
Yeah, sometimes counters are exactly what you want as a defender, to be honest. It can swing in roundabouts, because sometimes the counters show up and they come in from another angle, they come in from another side, and you're just absolutely overwhelmed. Or obviously it doesn't always necessarily stop the raid, but sometimes it can really work out in your favor if they take out a few of the other raiding team and you manage to clean up. But yeah, when you're getting raided by your neighbors, being the neighbors in this situation, no matter what you do, you're going to be able to keep coming back pretty fast.
It looks like, though, 2 Fresh are still mounting up a decent defense, even though Tarantula had maybe 3-4 members inside. A lot of them have been cleared up, but like you said, just the vicinity, just being so close, being able to run back, not just from the raid platform, but from your base, is that much easier. Ping still on the defensive here, as it looks like it's going to be Nuts and one other squad possibly going to take them out. But the boom is not just flying, so Ping might be on another raid defense here.
Oh my days. Knocked out the hard high quality as well on the side. You've got this advent calendar style wall system, but on the roof there's a bit of high quality, and one side has been taken out. It looked like it could have been a potential TC spot. Obviously still going on looking for that TC. Could be anywhere. Sometimes you honestly do just hit that lucky, you know, you're booming from the outside, and before you even try to breach the base, you've got the TC. I've seen it happen, so it's a matter of where it is and if you manage to hit the right side. But all these advents, so many of them, so much to clear out.
And the defender's actually putting up a decent good defense inside their shell so far. A lot of the members of Nuts actually going down, having to run back out. And you can see 4 members currently, 5 on the outside. Ping have been able to push out. Dicky is there. Never mind, that might have just been a respawn for himself. If he can pick up a gun to slow down the resupply of Raiders, but they have actually wrestled back a small semblance of control over this base, but Nuts are still inside trying to deal with all these admin calendar doors. Classic goes for that peek. There you go, Tanya taking out 2 members.
It's funny, just literally 2 floors above one of the Nuts players booming. You got Tanja clutching, killing them off. But it's the thing on this multi-tier battlefield of this base is we're so close to each other, but so far.
C4 now, or at least bring that one back on in. A lot of the honeycomb on this outside has been dealt with. Well, you said there's still 2 levels of that admin calendar to deal with right now. Nuts have been able to re-establish control over the inner peak downs now. Things are looking even more scary. We'll see though. Troika is up here on the roof. 12 HP. He gets cleaned up.
You know, what's next for Nuts is to take control of the spawn, but they can't quite get up to the rooftop with those turrets, I don't think. They need to find a way of doing that because Ping just constantly respawning and looting up from the boxes. Have a little look at Beetle here, see? If Beetle can grab a gun, it does mean there's still some stuff up here. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're starting to run short on some of the loot.
He was able to get himself an AK, but Dragon Dagger, I believe, from the compound is able to take him out. More respawns coming in for Ping. He'll be able to pick up that AK at the very least. But the boom is persistent down there inside the core of the base. They're running out of time. Someone needs to come up with a miracle play. There was a moment for Ping as they were able to wrestle back a little bit of control, and they have put them out at least back into the compound. I think they might just be trying to catch their bearings on where else they can boom. Now they are going into the core. The C4 going down. Basically, this first floor completely dealt with. There are no more doors remaining.
Actually, I think I remember which base this is. I think I know what they're doing wrong.
It could possibly be, but we're starting to see the boom coming out onto.
This is an interesting technique. Yeah, coming into the high core. I was saying the high core might be the place to be, but if you do look at empty triangles, so maybe one of these other edges does have the TC in. If you can't take roof control of the turrets, you can always just attack the roof from the outside. This is actually the wrong edge of the base, so that's going to be 16 C4 for nothing. Oh, they got a bit more C4.
Oh no, they weren't able to get completely through. And that actually creates the opening. Ping have completely expelled them out. Looks like Beetle was able to push out himself. Only a few members of Nuts remaining here. So the raid defense coming out for Ping, and able to expel them completely. Back over to the Ooga Booga base. It looks like it was another raid defense for them as they're able to hold this one down. I don't know exactly who the raiders were, but their base hasn't been dealt with. It was Thug Shake maybe, from earlier, yeah.
I would have liked to see Nuts take a leaf out of Ooga Booga's book there and, like, you know, fly a Scrappy over the Ping base and just rocket those beds out. That was everything. There was not a lot to be done whilst they were just constantly respawning on top of that base. And here we have to base blue getting pushed in by the villagers. The villagers showing a lot of action tonight, but they're not in the top 10. I've seen them here, there, seen them everywhere, getting some good kills. I haven't seen them get too many good full raids going down. That's exactly what they're trying to do here on Team Blue.
Oh, nice little angle there from the rooftop for Blue to actually deal with the raid platform from range. That rocket just narrowly missing, but you can see how exposed it is. So this raid could be over before it even starts. The villagers were the squad, I believe, and were able to counter Blue, who were trying to raid earlier on. So this could be a nice little bit of payback for them. Blue have some members on the outside as well. They're able to get us some loot, and so now this threat, the villagers, this is already looking like such a bad raid for them.
Couple more walls go up. This Russian dude hiding behind one, trying to get the meta before re-peek him, but when he does re-peek, he will be facing Bob and KK. And you've got all the other villagers behind the other walls as well. It's the full squad. There's only 3 of blue standing in and around the base. You've got Andrew Immersion, another Russian dude pushing around the flank, trying to do something about this spawn point. And that's very important, you know. The bomb nearly goes down, but looks like it's that Russian dude, this Russian dude, that Russian dude, man. Use the English alphabet, and we'll be able to cast you properly, lads.
Yeah. Blue, though, are pushing out from multiple angles. You can see one member out in the desert, one out here in the field, getting pushed now by Villager Tom. Oh, that is huge for them, but it's the trade away. See, one was pushed up basically towards the raid platform. He still needs to maintain position here. You got KK in that duel. We'll go ahead and back away to heal up right now. The Rockets have basically dealt with all of the beds here. So huge defense coming out for Blue, dealing with villagers right now. The raid is basically over.
Yeah, good stuff, Blue. Villagers trying their very best again, but just not able to make it up to the top 10. Doing some good kills all the same, but it's not, and kills just aren't enough. A little bit of a PvP rocket there just to finish him off. But still, you know, it's not going to be enough, lads. You're dead, you're gone, your beds are done. You're getting sent home yet again. You need to go get a TC if you want to be seen in that top 10 anywhere. But in the top 10, we do have 2 Fresh pushed down to 3rd place. Kazahi seem to be taking quite a good lead ahead of them. Nuts still sitting comfortably in that 1st place. Handful of more people who look like they might be able to catch up with a couple TCs, but so far right now it's looking like it's between Nuts and Kazahi unless 2 Fresh do something. But 2 Fresh's base has been absolutely hammered, and they're finding it hard to find the time to go and do anything of their own.
Yeah, and speaking of that, one thing to note, when we were on board with that raid, a member of 2 Fresh actually spawned on a bag outside of that base. And so that might be indicative of how bad that defense is going for them. If their timers are so long that they're spawning all the way at another base to try and run back. But as we go back over to progress that Big Kahuna have been trying to make on this Milk base currently. They do have members inside, but it looks like Kazahi are here for that counter. Milk just able to delay long enough, but unfortunately for them, the counter comes from the opposite side of the raid. So they don't really have to contest each other. And now it's going to be fighting inside of the fort, essentially here. Ooh, Big Kahuna, Wing able to come in, take him out. He's got the backup as well of Ducky. Help him out. Now they just need some boom milk. Ming able to push out, take one out. So you know there's another right underneath. Well, he's going to lock him in.
Oh, what's the plan here, buddy? What's the plan, Ducky? There you are, that's the easy plan. The door gets opened back up. Should be easy. Finish someone off nice.
He is still stuck inside, though. All these garage doors. So hopefully maybe he's got some C4. Doesn't have a rocket. There it is. C4 to at least deal with a bed. And see the threat of being inside. Oh, never mind. Ming knew exactly where he died from. Was able to deal with it on that respawn. The raid is not over. Here comes the pummel. From the other side now is Kazahi, currently in 2nd place. GC propelled him up into first. It's been a close race between our top 3 squads. Now Kazahi, with bases running out, with less and less TCs on the map, desperately need this one.
Kazahi can get it. They will slingshot forward is what they want. 2 Fresh. Also, if they do manage to find another 40 points from a defense or a raid, they're going to slingshot ahead of Kazahi as well. So 37 minutes left. It's definitely still in the taking for any of these top 3 teams. Top 4, possibly, if Milk really pulls something off. If they pull off this defense and then go get a raid of their own. This defense is looking pretty difficult to pull off as their core is completely dominated and the side of their base is still being boomed with rockets.
2 squads here, Kazahi and Big Kahuna. You can see MRTZ was able to basically take control over that. Oh, well, it's not even the top floor. It's the 2nd to top floor there on the roof. Still have beds at least active for Milk, but they might be running a little bit dry in terms of loot as Milk does end up getting taken out. Kazahi was able to come in, and that's so unfortunate for Big Kahuna, who really spent about the last 20 minutes on this raid, not able to finish it off. Kazahi show up, and within the first 2 minutes, are able to take it out, and that will go ahead and put them up to top, into the 1st place position now with a nice 19 some odd point lead, 20 some odd point lead over Nuts.
Well, we talk a lot about being efficient with time, and if you're just going to steal raids, I mean, that's pretty much about as efficient as you can get. And if you can just steal, if that's all you do and you don't actually instigate any raids and you just go around stealing, I reckon you would be saving many, many minutes in the scramble for points. But It's easier said than done, of course.
We're back over at the ping base. It looks like they were able to build up once again and try and seal. It's nuts on the outside trying to deal with that, but right now there's no counters here. This is an isolated raid. They're pummeling in from the side, really on the roof to try and peek this one. So we'll see. Maybe they're slowly getting back into this, or maybe they were all put on timer. You can see so many of them currently on the outside of the base.
Seems like they're pretty keen on taking out these 4 top armored areas, and that might be well informed. There is these armored areas on top that don't seem to connect to the rest of the base. There's not really much of a reason for them than one. So you see, you got an axe fight going on here, though. It's 1 minute and they do fall down. But it is many, many rockets to take down armored, so they're going to keep booming. And if it's not the right one, you know, they're going to go around to the other side of the base and keep going. But Ping, again, just maintaining complete control of the rooftop, which is extremely vital to them. And is it in there? No, that's the Jenny, though. So there's the turrets down now. They could have a chance to. I mean, the Jenny's actually out of juice anyway, so they do have a chance to take this roof control if they really wanted.
Yeah, they haven't actually blown through the compound quite yet. It looks like they are content to just deal with the rooftop first because of how relatively safe they feel in this raid right now. I mean, there are very few teams left. We're down to about 10 squads remaining here, 30 minutes. They still have enough juice in the tank to be able to rocket raid from the outside. There we go. Finally pushing in. We got access to the compound, but 3 members of Ping are out here. I believe this is where they might have had like a platform of beds for themselves. So Bunker will go for that peek, but it's just a safe volley from behind walls for Nuts to try and just get through this base.
I completely missed it, but Milk are out and Kazar here on top, so they must have finished that one off there. Just a little bit daydreaming into this ping brain, which just seems to have been going on for so long, and seems like they're really close to making something of it, but they're just still struggling as ping just keep on respawning. I'm telling you, this raid is all relied on these beds. If they just got rid of these beds, they probably would have had the TC 10 minutes ago.
They at least have the information, right, of where they should probably be booming because of how much work they had already put in. You can see that they weren't able to completely get all the doors down, seal up everything, but it didn't look like what it did just a few minutes ago. So being able to put in some quick work, they still can go ahead and maintain control over that compound. If someone can go ahead and peek down, Nuts are trying to push back on in. Classic might be down there for their squad, but a little bit of chip damage there onto a few members. As again, it's only a matter of time with so many bases remaining, or so few bases remaining. So you hear the boom, you want to go for that counter.
And if they are correct, and it is in the top of one of these armored areas, they've only got 1 more to clear out. So they've cleared out 3 of them. And it's going to be sod's law in it if it is in that last one. It's the last one they finally clear out. If it is in that last little armored triangle. One of the Nuts players has managed to make it up to the roof though, just behind this one door. Might be worth pushing through that door and dealing with some beds. I think the boom is coming in from a teammate. Obviously, don't take a lot of boom damage here, team damage.
Yeah, just on the other side is going to be access to that roof. You missed the rocket, buddy. You gotta help him out. He is asking for it. There we go. Just a few more, and he should be able to get through. But that armored door is putting in some work for him at the very least. One member of Nuts is actually already on that roof. They're gonna be able to get the double peek and now full roof control. The only thing slowing them down, well, it was that last little bit. There it is. They spotted out 2C4 to get through, and they will have been able to finally secure the points for this one, and it was just a matter of time. Nuts are able to eliminate Ping, pick up a plus 40 for themselves, but where does that put them on the leaderboard overall? That's going to be in first place with, well, just about a 35-point lead over Kazahi.
I mean, just imagine if they started with that armored triangle out of the 4. That's like 10 minutes they've been smashing through those triangles. They could have just, if they start with the right one, but I mean, that's what Base Invaders is. It's a numbers game. Even if you're well informed and you know where a TC might be, you've got a symmetrical base. It could be one of those 4 spots anyway.
Booga Booga still defending so far. It does look like they have full control over their base, though. Bloodshake might be running out of gas as you can see no one inside whatsoever, but the pummel's still coming out. Someone needs to get out there, as Too Fresh actually showing their face, or at least Fertile is. He's been spotted out, dropped down to 38 HP. He needs to play his life right now while the rest of his squad are able to show up. Unfortunately, remember, Too Fresh ended up getting raided. They did get the raid defense, but that slowed down their momentum quite a bit. A 60-point gap between them and Nuts, who are currently sitting in first place. Booga Booga, though, still haven't been able to expel the Raiders, have not fully defended. A lot of their rooftop has been decimated as well. Luckily for them, they still have some turret access at the very least. Some of the rockets missing there from the Raiders, but Booga Booga are trying to push out.
Yeah, realistically, if Too Fresh want to come out on top, they probably want to go and raid Nuts themselves and take out that first place point in the leaderboard. Then they will, of course, overtake Kazahi and be sat there pretty comfortably, but it could be tricky. Easier said than done, because Nuts seem to be a very good squad. Seem to have a good base as well. And Too Fresh also still might be caught up just like rebuilding their base. Their base was damaged so much that they might be a little bit busy. Vertile still managing to stay alive though, gets an excellent kill. Gets two. Completely trapped between two walls. Will manage to squeeze through.
I'm wondering if he was just respawning and trying to get back to base, or if he's just like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go on my own mission, you know? Like, I hear the boom, I want to get involved. And here he is, has the solo for himself, able to pick up that AK. Booga Booga still defending the base right now, as you can see Thug Shake. Their boom has slowed down just a bit. We're not seeing the rockets come out anymore.
If Vertile manages to find the TC somehow, it will be the play of the day, like from naked to double AK. Well, of course, probably not much boom on any bodies.
It looks like he found a C4 at the very least. Oh, is he
HP.
down? No, he's alive. 4 HP, he's healing up, and so he does have the boom.
He's got
the
rockets.
one-man
Go on,
army of
Vertile. Go on, Vertile. I know who I'm rooting for. Let's go, lad.
Oh my god, there's no way. How pissed would you be? How pissed would you be if you were Thug Shake and the one lone man from Too Fresh came in, sniped away your raid?
Might be calling in the reinforcements as well. Vertile here definitely got the info, knows that if the team comes down, then they might find the TC together. At least have a better chance of staying alive. Ooga Booga, was that Vertile? Yeah, I think Vertile just dropped. Well, it was a good run while it lasted. Too Fresh might come back, but like I said, they also might be busy rebuilding their base that was in shambles last time we saw it.
Oh, Ooga Booga have actually pushed all the way up towards that raid platform. And so once they deal with Vertile, it will be a raid defense for Ooga Booga. You can see Thug Shake on a complete retreat. Lay's actually caught out, but he ends up winning out on that duel. Oak has to be careful. They haven't completely dealt with all of the beds out here. Here it is, the Nut Squad showing up with the camper van. Vertile making the call out, hey, we need to catch up. This is our raid.
I wonder where Nuts are going. I thought they were heading over to this Ooga Booga base. Yep, there they are, They're just choosing the right angle. Oh, my days. Vertile definitely has a spawn point nearby because they're back in the base on 60 HP, still trying to pull stuff off. But Vertile is also going to have the information that Nuts are here soon, so I really think now is the time for Too Fresh to come and steal this raid off Nuts or go and raid Nuts themselves. Needs to happen right now, or Too Fresh will not be able to come out on top. Kazahi could also go and do the same. Not sure what they're up to right this moment. Sleep and Double lagging behind a little bit too far to really close that gap, so definitely up to Kazahi and Too Fresh to do something about the Nut Squad.
Yeah, Vertile is still inside of that base. Actually, he might have been cleaned up. Trying to get a better look. Yeah, he was unfortunately sent back to outer back, and there it is. His bag is right outside of their compound. We'll go ahead and swerve on by.
He's brain dead or what, bro? Go on, Vertile. He's
going on.
There's got to be another body somewhere, man.
Oh man,
go on, Vertile. Go on, mate.
Did he find anything?
Find a gun, find some boom. There we go. Yeah.
Okay. Oh no!
No, and he picks it up just in time to give Eddie the point.
Oh, I gotta commend the effort. He's continually getting back inside that base. He knows how to get in. He just needs to find a kid. Last time he was able to get some C4 down, but here it is. The Nut Squad now starting their boom on this side on the base, but the rockets are coming in. They still need to get into compound. They're going to try and do this one safely. They are our current leaders, but Kazahi are just right behind them. It's only 20 points separating our first and second place teams, respectively.
Could be 60 soon, though, if Nuts keep going. They're really making short work of most bases they come across. And they were stalled a little bit by the big base. You know, they took their time to really find that TC out of the 4 places they thought it might have been. Yeah, momentum is what you need in base invades, and so definitely got the momentum tonight. So they need to keep going, keep booming into the side of this base. Oh, one player taken down quite low, but it's going to med back up.
I saw some boom going on, actually, where the Nut Squad was. I'm wondering if there was some counter rocket to try and deal with the bets from the Ugu Buga roof. But you can see they have been spotted. Nuts, it's not going to be completely free for them to try and pummel from this side. Looks like Ugu Buga might have actually you can start working them. Oh, Heli in? No, oh, never mind. It was just Ugu Buga getting back into the base.
You know, for all these advents on the side, I don't think people are still putting their TC on the side advents, because, you know, as you can see, once someone starts booming from the side, it can be very, very easy just even accidentally take out that TC. All you're looking for is a route into the base, and if the TC's on the edges, it's going to go in. So I do think a little bit further into the core, hidden somewhere a little bit more wise than that, is probably going to be the meta these days. These rockets making short work of that honeycomb, proving my point.
Yeah, Thugshake, we're slowed down just a little bit, but they are starting to rocket once more. Now the compound has been opened up. Nuts are going to try and push up. They are into the breach. They are inside of that compound. The C4 should start going down fairly shortly here. Now they got roof access. Haka goes for the peek on the outside, but there it is. They are in to that shooting floor. There's one member just inside watching his base. Going to take it out. That's going to be Eddie there. They have anything to work with. Might have been able to pick up an AK for himself. We'll see, though, as the C4 now coming in.
Whatever Too Fresh are up to as well, they're getting plenty of kills in. You got I Miss Her on a kill streak a little bit earlier, and they're only 2 points behind Gazahi, and there's the TC. Actually, exactly where I was saying it probably wouldn't be, in that honeycomb, in the not place. Uga Buga eliminated by Nuts. Nuts now 464 points in first place. Kazahi 401, Too Fresh 400. So Kazahi or Too Fresh are going to need a TC and 20 kills just to catch up. And if they really have got it in them, they need to try and take out the Nuts TC themselves.
Yeah, that's insult to injury. I mean, for Thugshake, they've what, spent the last 30 minutes on this raid. Nuts shows up, instantly gets inside, and finishes things off in, I want to say about 2 minutes. 2 minutes since they've set up the raid platform. Now, as we go over to this double base, it's just all hands on deck for, well, I wanted to say a defense, but no one's really out here. It looks like possibly they were trying to make a push out onto the sleep base. You can see the raid platform is set up there in that direction, but Bubble now fully on their roof. There's the Kazahi base. Some members have been able to spawn back up. You can see Big Kahuna possibly eyeing this one out, but no damage has been taken basically on the Kazahi base. And it's all about trying to fend for themselves, but at some point, with Nuts having a 70-point lead, you need to get proactive. You need to get out there and pick up, well, about 2 TCs just to catch up.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for Nuts, but, you know, there's still 30 minutes or so left, so it's definitely going to be possible for a catch-up to happen. Thugshake lays there by themselves in the middle of nowhere. Looks like that base is surviving, but as if you look up to the scoreboard, you will see Thugshake nowhere there to be seen, and that is the problem with these bases in the middle of nowhere. It's just really hard to gather points. Here we are over at the Nuts base, which is still looking extremely impenetrable and unpenetrated. Yeah, this is a sweaty, sweaty base.
Yeah, this is all honeycomb. I imagine you can see even the half wall set up just to delay even more. This is just armored all the way through, so many multiple layers of core as well. So,
all right, guys, calm down.
Someone saw this and was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna try. Not even gonna try at this point. There's one member of Nuts just to play defense, because they know that the only way they lose at this point, with 20 minutes left to go, really, is for someone to take their TC. They've got 6 members outside, 1 member back at base, just playing base mom.
Yeah, I want to see an attempt. Who's booming what there? What? Oh, wait, that was such a good shot. It actually took out a bed from all the way over there. What?
Just look, it's like guerrilla warfare here, coming out from the woods. You can see the rockets coming on in from Mr. RTZ, whereas they're trying to deal with this, but they've got to be faster. I mean, there's only 20 minutes left to go. As Kazahi, why don't you just get a free raid defense points at this point if you're not faster with this? You can see that they are starting to respawn back here. They're getting more and more members back to base to try and defend this one. You got Double, who can make their presence known for this, but they're dealing with that sleep squad on the other side.
Yeah, it's pretty chaotic. It's Double making a push in from another angle too. RPD and Nature on the front line. Sova getting pretty close as well. Sleep's getting pushing up from behind too. So this is Double are getting pushed from the flank. Double looking to push in the counter. They're actually going to put down a raid platform, so Kazahi going to have to deal with Big Kahuna and Double from 2 different angles. Sleep also going to be a bit of a problem in this situation as well.
Yeah, but Double, even though they had the raid platform down, I mean, Sleep is right behind them, so it's not the safest at all whatsoever. One member, actually 2 members of Sleep were playing off of supermarket there, trying to get some rockets in. They're going to arc those onto the rooftop, and you know, that's going to slow down Double just a bit. They can't overextend themselves. You can see false connection is out there, but now with the boom going onto their base, they have to basically reorient themselves, and you can see as everyone's respawning, it's all about the defense for them.
Another big open rooftop there with 4 turrets on and a bunch of beds that if you can get rid of, you will have good control of the base. But yeah, these quadruple turret metas that I used to do Base Invaders a year or so ago and didn't used to see this quite so much, but slight change in the meta now where nearly everyone have the as their main spawn point, main loot point, and also definitely also their main weakness if you can get rid of it. Big Kahuna making this push round. Do take out one Kazahi player.
This is the difficulty, especially when you have to raid from inside the fences. It is just grub central, right? If someone can just sneak in through that tree line, pick up an AK, their position not even known. The double base actually getting rocketed from distance. The compound, and basically half of it already gone. You have Change Yourself up top, trying to deal with the threats. These nuts are coming in for their next raid.
Oh, here come nuts. Too fresh, whatever they're doing. I mean, I miss is on a 10 kill streak now, so they're starting to catch up just with kill points, but a sum total of 55 points behind. Yeah, it looks like Too Fresh are being attacked, so I miss it got a 10 kill streak in defense, and they might get up to 40 points from finishing this defense off, but we got Tarantula pushing back in. There's a lot of bags on the floor, a lot of walls missing. Too Fresh seem to be doing okay for now. It's hard to say where this is going to go.
Yeah, FFF still inside the compound right now. Apsy as well as members of Tarantula are trying to get them away on in. The villagers have been able to set up double raid platforms for themselves, so they will have extra beds to come back. And unfortunately for Too Fresh, they have just been stuck inside of their base this entire time. But hey, the raid defense, like you said, full 40. They should be able to get at this point as long as they can defend, but with 17 minutes still left to go, a lot of their base has been taken down. A lot of their doors are gone. Tarantula have been working at this for a while now.
I mean, Too Fresh seem to be doing a great job from the rooftop, though. I mean, if they can get to 40 points behind Nuts, and this defense gives them 40 points, they're going to be laughing. They're just going to be barely have to do anything to catch up. Sometimes the pressure can be quite tough, thinking, oh, we got to go get another TC, we have to. But if people are just walking onto your doorstep and handing you kills, oh, here we have Pathfeeder making a peek. Oh, and he's going to get, is he going to get 2 kills? He's going to get 2. Is he going to get 3? No, he jumps back down. But that was excellent from Pathfeeder there. I guess the turrets aren't working to their effect. Tarantula getting involved. Life goes on, but not for them.
Oh, man. Vertile's like, hey, guys, why do I have to defend? Let me go back out. But you can see how much of a difference he's already making. Able to at least maintain control over that roof. 18 HP, and he goes for another peek. Tarantula will be able to finish him off.
Those beds need taken out. Too Fresh need to do something about these beds. There's so many beds around them, different angles, but luckily some of these walls are falling, so they could actually rocket them if they wanted.
All right, back at this double base as Nuts have been slowed down a bit. Big Kahuna making their presence known for this as well. Surprisingly enough, one member of Big Kahuna out here in the middle of nowhere when the fight was taking place over that Kazahi base. Here come the Rockets once again, dealing with this outer shell right now. Of course, all of the door hallways will slow them down just a little bit, but there's no one here really to contest Nuts. So this is just free fire. Actually, Sleep as well with an angle on them. So this side of the base is going to get absolutely demolished. They do have some presence on the outside. It looks like you can see False Conclusion has been able to push out, has some walls to work with, and maybe that off angle for his squad, maybe just that presence alone can slow things down for them.
Yeah, but these rockets aren't slowing down at all. I think that's the Nuts platform that's been taken out, so Nuts are making that push back in now. Is that correct?
They're cooking.
So they lost their platform. Sleep maybe did it, maybe Double did, we're not sure. But they're pushing back to the same platforms, and Nuts going to try and get back involved in this raid. Kazahi's still defending from Big Kahuna. Seems like they're doing an okay job. One gets taken down. Nutsack Hacker makes that push into the base. Someone's from the flank, and then distracted as Lexa finishes him off. Probably want to start rebuilding a little bit. They've got a little window of opportunity right now. Looks like they might
Doe is still on their rooftop or possibly in their shooting floors, so because I haven't completely gotten rid of him quite yet. Never mind. There he goes. He goes down. And so Big Kahuna have been basically evicted. Only one player basically remaining here, and he will ultimately fall. So Kazahi, as soon as they can seal up that compound, that's going to be a nice little raid defense for them. Big Kahuna might chalk this one up. There's a lot of action going on over here. Once again, going back over to that double base, you can see Nuts are set up. Sleep actually putting in the works. Prosto is still alive on that side. The raid platform has been fully reestablished. Nuts just a little bit further away though, unfortunately for them.
Too fresh. They're now 40 points behind Nuts. So if they get that 40-point raid defense, they're going to be laughing. Now they're less than 40 points behind. So if Nuts can't find this TC and Too Fresh manage to get the full raid defense pointage, they're actually going to be in first place. But I'm sure they're wanting to raid. No one wants to be sat in their base for so long defending. It might be getting you points, but it's not as fun as raiding. P7BO getting a great kill there, moving into the breach on this other side. Going to try and contest this attack. Kino the Totem pushing out, does finish him off.
Yeah. That's not going to stop the Rockets. You can see how much further back everyone has basically put their raid platforms. The raid platforms were dealt with, but teams were able to reestablish themselves, and here we go. More Rockets now coming in. This angle is going to be the Nuts squad trying to get in, but they still have a long ways to go. We saw the kind of work that was put in to basically what was the supermarket side, where most of the base is exposed from there. You can see the difference in the progress that has been made on this base, but this is still basically just outer shell that they have to deal with. Their core is still fully up at this point with almost no progress made inside.
Yeah, this core looks pretty sturdy. I'm looking forward to seeing what's inside that. It looks like it might be another set of advent doors, but it's nice, chunky base, really dense. It looks like that you're making progress from the outside, but once you get through, they're still the same again and more.
See, Double, they do have still full control over at least the compound world. I don't know if you could call it a compound anymore. You can see how much of it has been taken down. And the pummel is persistent from both Sleep and from Nuts. A member of Nuts actually able to push in, and he's deep. He's on bed, so he can clear this out. That's going to be less respawns, less resources for them to try and fight back. He ends up finding a launcher too. Can he get the rockets?
Funny little bedroom down there, and definitely a weak spot if those beds are taken out. I think they're still spawn on the roof. Yeah, there's still a bunch of spawn on the roof, but a lot of the stuff that's protecting them up here has also been taken out. I do like the way that those boxes are submerged though, just from stray rockets. A little bit of protection if some random rocket's going to be coming flying in.
Alright, Kazahi, with their raid defense up against Big Kahuna, are now able to get a little bit more active. They're pushing out onto the field. They want to cash up as well. Now putting themselves into second place, 459, only 6 points ahead of Too Fresh for Nuts, though. If they can secure this TC, we undoubtedly their win. Nice little angle there from Prosto to take out the member on top of the roof of Market. Now, though, you can see Big Kahuna looks like they want to go for a second attempt onto that Kazahi base.
Yeah, Mongolia's Mongolia's had the right idea clearing out Oxham's gas station, supermarket, I think it was. Sorry, but definitely wasn't going to last up on that rooftop as one of the other sleep members. Prosto takes him out. Moving back over to Tarantula. So they're out of their base.
Yeah, Thugshay came in, and remember, Tarantula were busy over there dealing with the Too Fresh base, and so the fact that they have to come back for this defense is going to create a huge opening now for Too Fresh to reestablish control. Like, they were doing already a great job of defending their base, but this momentary lull in the action could be what they really needed to shore up their defenses, maybe seal a little bit. I don't know where he would start because a lot of that base is already gone. Blue even showing up, but he does get cleaned up. Mary Yikes should have been able to deal with that one. So the threat's not completely gone here, but YP in a great spot to try and get a flank, try and deal with the last of these beds.
Ipmud. Ipmud is just dumped you backwards.
I should know that. I mean, we've been casting FPS for so long, right? All the names just backwards. Here he goes, creeping up. He hears one on his left, and Tickle has no idea. Dumpy, in just a moment, should be able to spot him out. He's only 5 HP as well. There it is.
Oh, he's trying to get rid of the boom. If I can't have it, you can't have it.
Oh yeah, the C4 ticking away. And that's going to be the raid defense for them as well. And Tarantula should be able to move right back on in.
Vertile again? Solo raid? Again, Vertile?
He comes in with the Scrappy, just C4s. I'm not the
He's
Scrappy, the
desperate for
mini.
TC, man. This is the way to go, man. This is the way. Vertile is showing us how it's done. Just instead of playing in a 7-man, just playing 7 1-mans. Oh,
I mean,
really...
he has to have confidence. It's just confidence in his team to defend. He's got the launcher on the back as well. Thug Shakes, you can see. Oh, unfortunate for them. They have to come back to try and go for the defense. They're not even here on the top of the leaderboard currently. And so now, here comes the attack squad, the Rock to finish him off.
The Rock.
Vertile.
How close did he get? We'll never know. Oh, a little bit of twig.
Oh, man. And then Thug Shake's like, wait, it was just one guy? It's just one guy?
Like, what? Yeah, Vertile might have came close. It might be behind here. How long a delay are we running on these days?
That triangle there. It was 2 doors on either side of the wall. So I don't know if it was that one, but it was a really good attempt. It was a really good attempt from Vertile. We've been seeing that coming out from him all day. Now he's got to go back to base. Here we go. Tarantula are back on. You can see a lot of the base was actually rebuilt for Too Fresh, but the rockets are coming back. I'm so surprised that Tarantula still have rockets, still have something in the gas, because they've been working on this Too Fresh base for, I want to say, about 40 minutes now. But Too Fresh have been putting up a monstrous defense. They're now within 44 points of nuts. So if they do get the full raid defense and a few more PvP kills, they can actually get themselves in first place. There's 7 minutes remaining, and the rockets are not stopping Tarantula.
This is crazy. Too Fresh have been pummeled for so long. They haven't had a chance to get those 40 points on the board because it hasn't stopped yet. The raid has to stop for you to get those points, and this has just been completely incessant for Too Fresh having to defend this non-stop for so long. I guess they just need to send Vertile out again. Maybe Vertile to TC on his own. Go get the Tarantula TC.
One member of Blue is here as well, but here is villagers are actually inside of the base, and they've been trying to counter this raid as well for maybe the past 20-30 minutes. A lot of doors still to make their way through now, so we'll see. 7 more minutes. Can Too Fresh hold on? Nuts though are finding some kills here. They're up to 5-15, slowly pulling away from the rest of the pack, but still within range. Too Fresh and Kazahi. We'll see if Kazahi can get active. We saw them, of course, defending, I believe, up against Big Kahuna. The res comes out. Too Fresh still have basically all their members alive up here, but the villagers are inside of their base. They need to deal with them. They need to expel them.
Oh my days! And where is the TC? I mean, I was living in this base last game. I don't know where the TC is, so I can't help you out on that one. But I mean, they're looking to find it as soon as possible. But it's just such a big base. Could still be anywhere.
Yeah, I think we are seeing in person, in real time right now, people getting lost inside their own base. Just having difficulty actually maneuvering around. The beds kind of stopping them from getting through a lot of the doorways as well. The rocket pummel continuing from Tarantula. I'm so surprised that they still have rockets at this point. I'm wondering if it's from that defense. They were able to get some of that boom.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, and these beds are starting to fall, so Too Fresh are having a hard time. But still, if they can, I mean, I don't think it's going to be possible for them to finish this up now. Like, they need to. This raid has to finish for them to get the points, and it really just looks like the rockets aren't going to stop in this last 6 minutes.
We're hearing some C4 going down as well. So now things are looking more and more dire. They're slowly losing out on the roof access. You see the pummel actually dealing with some beds as well. So things are looking so bad now. The defense was so strong for Too Fresh, but they're starting to run out of gas themselves. On the other side, though, villagers are still continuing their pummel right now. Nuts finding some kills as well. And so Nuts understand the assignment. They just have to keep up with the pace of the game. Nice! Little defense coming out.
Go on,
what did he pick up? 3 kills there?
Oh, well, it was a good 3 kills while it lasted, but Villager Kebab is there in the base in an awkward spot. C4 is coming out. I reckon the TC's behind this would be.
This is the last of the resources they have. No more metal. They don't have any more armor. And they just have to go for the wood. No stone even. So things are looking very, very desperate for the Too Fresh squad. But they're not going to give up. 4 minutes remaining. 4.5 minutes essentially here. So it's still doable. They are doing a great job of just delaying, but the villagers are trying to just flush their way on in. They're getting all their loot back up. Now the C4 going back down into the doors. Not quite finding DC quite yet. They still have their work cut out for them. There's still a lot of this space to get through.
Yeah, and there's loads of these corridors everywhere in this base. Loads of door corridors, and like 99% of them lead absolutely nowhere. I'm going to take a little move up to the villagers' base. Oh, and the villagers are now being raided by Blue, so that might actually save Too Fresh from a very dicey situation. Blue makes...
It was the villagers that were the ones that were able to push in. Blue with that rooftop, controlling that one down. See, Macross is inside the base proper currently, probably tossing down all the C4 if he can. We'll check it out in just a moment. Yeah, he is inside the shell proper right now, but there's still a lot of doorways to deal with. He might have actually run out of boom.
Yeah, it's a little quiet, but I think there's still C4 in hand. See how many he's got, see how far he can get. Doesn't know how to use them though, does he?
Yeah, there we go. They're trying to decide, is it going to be through the doorway, or do we want to try to go through the wall?
Yeah, maybe one more. Yeah, good, lads.
There we go. There's still a lot of doors to deal with. You can see all those garage doors, all the Rustoria doors as well. But the villagers now having to deal with this. See, rockets on the outside as well. But as we have 3 minutes remaining, I don't know if Blue are going to be able to find this one. And we've seen how long these bases can take to get through, especially when you're built up like this one. And I believe, is this the one that was just a lot of honeycomb all the way through? Well, you never know until you actually get in.
Come on, Max, you can do it. Just jump.
Boost me,
mate.
Boost me.
Go on, mate. You can do it. Go on, mate. Go on. Go on, mate. Go on, mate. No, Tom's going to do it himself. Show us how it's done, Tom. Go on, Tom. You can get the ladder. Go on, mate. You can get it. Hey, what an excellent kill. Tom had no armor on and he gets a kill. Didn't see that one coming, to be honest.
There's still Macross and one more player of Blue up here, so it's not completely over. But that's going to be some nice raid defense at least coming in for them. We do hear a lot of booming still going on, though, as we join on board with double. Nuts are in here. If they can secure this, I mean, they do almost have a 50-point lead, 51-point lead over Too Fresh. So maybe the PvP will be enough for them. 2 minutes remaining. Can they get the TC?
I think Too Fresh might have got that 40 points now.
Find out in just a moment. 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go. Nuts not leaving anything to chance whatsoever. They are going to go ahead and put it all out on the field here. They've got the last of their boom. They're going to try and get through. They're dealt with a lot of the cores here. So they made short work of this base right now. They are inside this core. We said this was a chonky base. They are starting to get in, so we'll see in just a moment. Double still trying to defend now. They're getting in. Kino is getting taken out. Sleep are here as well. So many squads trying to deal with this. Nuts have been able to deal with a lot of threats coming out from Sleep, but it's Big Una as well coming in for the counter. 3 squads showing up for this raid. Kazahi making their presence known as well. Nutsack stuck in the middle of 3 members. He will get taken down. Looks like Kazahi pushing up. Now with 1 minute remaining, Team Double, will they be able to survive? Will their TC survive?
These guys. Yeah, I was going to go see if we can actually find how close Vertile got to that solo raid. I don't think it wasn't in there. We thought it might have been, but yeah, it could have been anywhere. So Vertile, nice try. Too Fresh, nice try. He did excellent job this round, but Nuts look like they're out way ahead. Maybe just double check the Too Fresh base, see what's going on here, but looks like Tarantula's TC is safe. Too Fresh's TC is safe. Vertile's going for the 1-man.
It's Vertile again, just pulling back the members of Tarantula who have been working on their base for ostensibly the last 50 minutes. You see even more compound walls going down for Too Fresh. And with 8 seconds left to go, Too Fresh will be able to hang on. But unfortunately for them, they will not be able to catch up to Nuts. And there it is. They got their raid defense points at the end, keeping them in 2nd place. Kazahi will be in 3rd. And our overall winners, our leaders, at the end of the day, it's going to be Nuts walking away with the victory.
Yeah, look at that. Mongolius and Genia and P7VO, 78, 80, and 83 kills respectively, man. That is really good stuff. No wonder they came out on top. Didn't even have to take down the helicopter. Didn't take a single crate. It was all just kills and raids. Excellent stats there. Well done, Nuts.
Yeah, taking a look at the stats, it was only 3 raids that they were able to complete. A large chunk of their points by 3-fold almost, coming from the kills. 431 points from kills alone. You get the 120 from the TCs that they were able to pick up. So great performance coming out for them. We can check out Too Fresh. I would love to be able to take a look at that. And they end up getting 2 raids and 4 raid defenses. So they were stuck at base for so much of the raid phase.
Yeah, did really good. And it was so close behind. Looks like Too Fresh got like an extra 20 points or something at the end there for defending, but it still wasn't anywhere near enough to catch up.
It was difficult to tell when they were getting the raid defense points because it was just non-stop for maybe the last 50, maybe even the last hour of the raid phase. They were just continually at base. Well, 6 of them were. Fertile was off doing his own thing. And he ended up getting 52 points throughout all of that in terms of kills. So it was great to see that he still wanted to go have his own fun, play the solo life at that point. Let's go ahead and check on board with Kazahi. Take a look at what they were able to pick up themselves. So 2 TCs picked up for them, along with 4 raid defenses. We got to see Big Kahuna try to push them 369 points going their way. Nikita able to pick up 170 kills for his squad.
That's a lot. And that's actually completely outdoes anyone in Nuts. But unfortunately, just not quite enough. 1 more raid and they might have done it. If they did just get 1 more raid, they would have.
But there were moments where Nuts were able to just kind of come in and steal away a few raids. We saw them showing up at the tail end of a counter, essentially, and being able to plop down a raid platform within 2-3 minutes, just getting inside of the compound, getting inside of the inner shell, and just take that one out. And so the fact that Nuts just did not let go. They just continually had their foot on the pedal, did not slow down whatsoever, kept up with the pace of the rest of the lobby, kept them in the lead, even though Too Fresh and Kazahi gave them a run for their money. Having almost 50-point spread between the top 3, that is extremely close.
Yeah, it was really, really close game. And I was saying at the start of the event, it can get quite annoying sometimes when someone's just like hundreds of points ahead, but it's nice to see this neck and neck run. But overall, Nuts did seem to lead it out through most of the game. Definitely maintained that control through to the end.
Yeah, I had an extremely fun day. I mean, I love when it comes to these bigger squads just because you have a lot of more room for error, right? You need more than just one heroic play for a defense. As the Raiders, if you lose one or two members, you just resupply, make sure someone's outside so that you can go back into the compound, get back inside the base, keep the raid alive, and keep it going. So, congratulations to Nuts. They will be our victors on the day. Too Fresh coming in second, and Kazahi able to take third place. Now, before we close it out, Bigfoot, do you have any final words?
More clutches, more little pistol clutches, and more Chad solo raiding, please, everyone.
I forgot about that Python play coming out
Yeah.
earlier on. Yeah, we had some
More
amazing
solo
moments
raids.
today, and I am so glad that we were able to bring you all the action once again. This is Base Invaders presented by Rustoria servers and sponsored by Rusty Pots. So give them both love. Thank you all so much for tuning in. That's going to do it for us, but we will see you again. Once again, next week, EU will be starting it off all early on, and we will have NA. We'll let you know what format it will be. This week it was sevens. Next week it can be anything. So make sure you're keeping an eye on our socials. But that will do it for us. For Bigfoot and myself, and from everyone at Rustoria, thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you guys next week.
Goodbye.